All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
My name's Melina, and I'm living West Michigan.
That's going to be sick.
Well, we had to live up to season 1, which is arguably the greatest season of television ever. So that was a challenge for one.
There's so many segments that I feel like not only people loved filming and editing, but were like full passion project moments this season, which was really awesome. I loved that Alan got his moment to shine with the planetarium project, and I loved that Spencer got his moment to shine with Dogman. So it really was nice that everybody got to pick something that they were really passionate about and really go all in for that.
Season 2 of Living West Michigan was a big improvement over Season 1 in terms of our production style and a lot of the ways that we went about telling certain stories. We learned a lot doing that first season in 2024, and in 2025 wanted to be even more intentional than we were before about the way in which we present a story, especially if it's about like a big organization, Hudsonville Ice Cream or Skydive Grand Haven, any of those segments that revolved around like a big operation of some sort, kind of narrow focusing it through a person or a job, and then the overall story kind of like weaving some of that detail in.
I was sort of a new cast member this season. I wasn't here for season 1, so I just got to watch what they made, the excellent segments that they made, and then try to adapt that formula, push onward into new segments, and I think we made a, dare I say, even better season.
I've always tried to pin down where my interest in space came from. I can never really pin it down. It's like I probably watched Apollo 13 growing up when I was young. So Tom Hanks, around that time, Ron Howard directing, it was great. As for the Grand Rapids Amateur Astronomical Association, they have public nights where you can go to the observatory out in Lowell, you can fix up your telescope with them, all that type of stuff. So once I reached out, Dave DeBryan, one of their leaders, not the leader, but he's been around the longest for sure, he got me connected and he was really enthused about doing the whole thing. And so it just took that one email, one phone call, and then suddenly this group is like, yes, please come and check out what we're doing, because we're doing something quite unique for our area. I think it's definitely interesting for the younger generation to go out and experience the observatory and what they're doing out there. Tom Good, one of the guys we interviewed, explained it where one thing he wants people to come away with is, don't think of the sky as a dome. There are just stars and we look at it and say, that's a star, that's a planet, etc. He's like, think of it as like a 3D space that they can look at pretty closely. The sun, the planets, the moon, star clusters that are millions and millions of light years away. They can get really good detail photographs. It's a great way to connect yourself to something bigger, and it's only 20 minutes away.
The most fun that I have is being there when somebody maybe looks at the moon or Jupiter or Saturn. Those are what I call the OMG objects that illuminates all of those craters. They often say, oh my God. And just to be there present for that moment is a privilege.
It was a completely different format and subject than anything we'd ever done. It was honestly incredible that they let us do that.
So the officer and I went out there to take a look at it. You know, he just tried to chew in around the doors.
was some of the most fun I've ever had. That song has been a staple of my childhood, and we'd always play with my friends, and so to be able to tell the story and talking to Steve, it was like I was kind of geeking out when I was sitting in front of him. That also helped because we got to have a lot of fun in the filming of the footage. There's not a ton of footage out there. Colin and I went out into one of our friends' woods, and most of the footage you see is Colin prancing around in the forest, and he did a really good Dogman impression. So.
One of my favorite memories from this season is when we went to the bee farm, because we put the big white suits on, we walked over to the bees, and all these bees are hitting you, and I asked the lady in charge, like, how many bees are out here? She's like, oh, I don't know, but you know, each tower has about 10,000, I think, and there's like 6 or 8 towers, so that was a little bit freaky, but it was kind of cool, and that's not something you get to experience every day, and that's what I really love about this show, is you get to experience new things in places that you normally wouldn't.
I think some really fun ones to shoot were Break Room, just being able to like smash a bunch of stuff and watch Spencer and Chase like whip stuff at the wall, and then being able to smash mugs with pans is just, it's really fun.
It's harder to swing a frying pan.
I'm a little biased because it was also another one I did, but the DNR Salmon in the Classroom one was one of my favorites, just because it was so cool to see the progression from when we first went in January to seeing the kids release them in May. The kids were even more excited when they released them, and to see both sides of that in the story, I think really helped. And
there's a couple things that kind of started out as jokes but turned into like the best things that we've done. The Skydive Grand Haven piece, where it was like, wouldn't it be cool if we got to film ourselves going skydiving? Well, we made it happen. Chase led the charge on that segment and had a connection, and I walked him through producing something like that, and what we needed to do. We had a bunch of pre-meetings about it, and figured out if we could do it safely and how we would go about filming it, and then watching it all come together. And I was in the plane wearing a parachute, filming people jumping out, and I've never skydived before, let alone been sitting next to an open door on a plane 14,000 feet in the air.
The whoosh when you guys jumped out?
it was incredibly nerve-wracking. I don't know really why I said yes to that, because I didn't have that much fun. But no, it was fun. I'm very glad I did it, but it was incredibly scary, and the entire way up the plane I was kind of thinking, like, can we just take this thing back down, please?
We talked to Randy, the ice guru of West Michigan, and he's a very interesting guy, and being able to talk about him about his small business was very cool, but just being able to film him carving ice was so sick. The snow shooting up and Spencer did a great job with that edit. It was just such a blast.
Iced coffee.
So the Free Fun Forecast was a really good reoccurring segment that fit the show beautifully. Being able to do these YouTube short style shallow views of lighthouses and trails and was really cool. And we also got to combine a couple projects that had existed previous to this idea, one of which was the swing dance segment, and one of which was the Mitten Vintage segment that had been produced not necessarily for this, but they ended up being a part of it because they fit. Free Fun Forecasts is something that turned out really well, and it fit the show, where it's still fulfilling that like people, places, things.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
I'm Melina. Today, we're predicting perfect weather for adventure, all at no cost. So last season I hosted one segment, and it felt really crazy when I got to do that because I'm usually behind the camera, so I've always known that I want to be in front of it, but I figured I'd take my time getting there, you know, and then second season came around and I really got that opportunity to kind of join that group of hosts, and it was really crazy because it kind of happened all so fast. Like, I went from hosting one segment in season 1 and then hosting, I think, 8 in season 2. So it was a big jump for me to, you know, be on camera as much as I was. But I loved it. I loved being able to go back and like watch my progression over time. I think when the season started, you could tell, at least I could tell, I was really nervous in front of the camera. But by the time, you know, my last interview came around, I feel like it's really natural for me now, and that's what I wanted all along. So I feel really lucky to have gotten that opportunity.
Look at this. There's steps to the toilet. Call that a throne.
I think living in West Michigan is really important because I think now more than ever, community is so important. And this show shows you that look at all these cool things in your community and you should go out and connect with people and see new things and places and just make the world a better, more connected place.
I think it takes a lot of people to bring the show together, and everyone, you know, maybe serves their individual purpose, but at the end of the day, it's really nice that we can all come together as a team. We've got the video production specialists, we've got the production assistants, we've got the producer directors. You know, this whole thing without Zach wouldn't have been possible, without Colin, without Spencer, without myself, without our wonderful PAs. It is really a group effort, and we work so well together. And I think with season 2, we all kind of found our niches, and so I'm really excited for that to grow further into season 3.
I really think that the production value mixed with the way that we frame these stories and tell them and present them and try different things, I think is something I'm really proud of, and watching it evolve just from year to year has been really cool too, because I only think that it can get better. We've got some ideas cooking for what we want to do this year, and it'll be exciting to see if we can pull some or all of them off. Here at WGVU, our mission is to educate, inform, inspire, and entertain. The show checks all of those boxes, and we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't care about what we're doing, and the team that we have truly, truly, truly cares about the work that they do, and that shows in the final products, and so I couldn't be more prouder of that.
I think creating and pushing out a show like this is more important right now than ever. You know, with the state of the world, I think that we all just want a feel-good story sometimes. We want to be able to turn on the TV and watch something that, you know, gives us a quick laugh or shows us a new part of our community that we didn't see before. And I think that's something really special about living in West Michigan, is it gives people that pride of place, you know, and I think that's really important. I'm really excited to keep doing it.
This program is supported in part by an award from the Michigan Arts and Culture Council and is also powered by you and your dedicated support. Thank you.